I feel like it's crossed the mind of every girl. I don't know, though. I don't really know. I've definitely seen it go wrong for some people and it not look good, so I'm scared. I don't think I'd take the risk. Do you find it hard to relate to people because so many people already know so much about you from online? Yeah, it's hard, like, making new friendships knowing that they just kind of have access to a ton of information about me. And there's been a few, like, relationships in my life. This is so good. Oh my gosh. This is lemon drop tea with mango tango and honey. Wow. But yeah, what was I saying? There's been a few relationships in my life, like my relationship with Camryn's mom, who I just talked to her the other day. She wished me a late happy birthday. But like, Camryn told her that, he's dating me and that I like do social media, and just kind of told me about, told her about me. And I don't know what that was. That was a really weird noise. Came out of nowhere. That scared me. But she was like, yeah, out of respect for her, like, I'm not gonna look at her social media. Like, I just feel like that's an invasion of her privacy. Like, I want to get to know her by, like, meeting her. And so she, like, never looked at my YouTube, never looked at my Instagram, like, fully knew nothing about me other than what Camryn had told her when I met her. And still, like, even after meeting me and getting to know me, never looked at my social media. And I just found that so sweet, and, like, I don't know, that really was just, because there's people in my life who are, like, they find out that I do social media, and they, like, stalk me and, like, ask about it all the time, and it's just, like, dude, I don't know. Obviously, I don't mind you guys all knowing, stuff about me, because that's, like, the whole point. But when it's people I actually know, it's, like, weird sometimes. How did you cope with going through so much alone when Landon passed? Not very well. I don't know, I feel like I was never really alone. Like, right after Landon passed, I really leaned on people, and, like, really focused on my connections with the people around me, because when I was with Landon, especially towards the end, there was a point towards the end of my, I guess, relationship with Landon, or marriage with Landon, like, for the last month, maybe 2, I had completely cut off my family. I had lied to them about where I was staying. They thought I was living with Landon's mom, but I was back home, and Landon's mom thought I was with my grandma. My grandma thought I was with Landon's mom. Everyone was really worried about us, and I didn't want them to worry, so I cut everybody off. I cut off all my friends. I literally did not tell anyone where I was, because they didn't want me to be back home with him yet. They knew that wasn't a good idea, and I didn't listen. And I literally had no connection with anyone at all outside of, I don't know what just happened, outside of Landon and Colette and Delilah. And that's, like, literally all I had. And I was so isolated. So after, like, I don't know, almost treating those connections and, like, taking them for granted, after losing him, I really focused on kind of building those back up. And so I was alone, but I wasn't alone, because I had my family and I had my friends, and I had some really shitty, really, really shitty friends who I thought were there for me. Like, right after Landon passed, and soon learned that they were not there for me, and, like, were talking major shit about me. And yeah, and the people in my life who saw that I wasn't coping in great ways still, like, stuck by my side and held my hand through it. And like, even at times where they're like, it's hard to sit back and just watch you cope in this way, and like, you know, and I kind of talked about that in my video where I said, like, a year ago I was at rock bottom, how, like, in January of 2021 I was just in such a bad place, and that's, like, right around the time that I found out that all my other friends were, like, talking shit and weren't really there for me. But yeah, long story short, I was never really alone. I had people who stuck by me and supported me even through the worst of it, and you know, I'm still not alone. Are any of your family members Aquariuses? Colette's an Aquarius, and Landon was an Aquarius. What are the girls doing? They're with their nanny. I'd love to meet you. I went to Cosmo school with Robbie. Aww. Yeah, Robbie told me she had, like, some friends in cosmetology school that watched my videos. That's so sweet. Yeah, I'll let you know if I'm ever in Dallas, assuming that's where you're at still. Do you think Landon passing would have affected you differently had I not have the girls? I think the girls really kept me grounded in that time and gave me a purpose and, like, a reason to fight. But also just a huge part of my grief and a huge, like, aspect of it is that, you know, I'm grieving the dad that they never really got to have, and that they never will have. So it's just like that aspect of my grief wouldn't be there. But I think it'd be pretty much the same. I mean, I was with him long before, you know, having kids with him. Like, a huge part of our relationship was just me and him before having kids. And we were already, you know, in love and, like, a well-established couple before getting pregnant. So, yeah. Do you have any ways for coping with anxiety? I'm kind of someone who, I don't know, this probably isn't good, but I, like, just kind of, like, wait it out and just write it out, and almost sometimes, like, make it worse. I don't know what my problem is, but yeah, I just will just be like, you know, I know it'll pass, so I'm like, I almost, like, let's get it over with. Like, if I feel a panic attack coming, I'm like, all right, panic attack time. I don't know, it's probably not good. I don't recommend that. I'm trying to figure it out too, so. How did you conquer your driving anxiety? Just by practicing. Like, after Landon died, I just needed to drive places. Like, I had to, and there was no way around it, and there was no other option. So I just had to, and it pretty quickly went away after just practicing. Also, it's a lot easier to drive around here than it is in Texas. There's no, like, highways or freeways, or it's literally one big road with like side turns to go to different neighborhoods and places, but it's literally you're going this direction or you're going that direction. There's one road and it's just one long strip throughout the whole town. Small town things. How's 21 treating you? It's been an emotional roller coaster so far. I love your mug. Thank you. It was a Christmas present. What's your main trigger? I don't know. I have a lot. People fighting in public, definitely. Like yelling, just like drawing attention, like being loud in public. I'm just like, I'm scared of people like looking. I honestly am, like when I really break it down, like I've come to a point where I don't really care if people look anymore. In most circumstances, I used to be just scared of people looking at me in public, like, at all. So, like, even if someone, like, around me was laughing really loudly, I'd be like, everyone's looking at us now because you're laughing so loud. But I've come to a point where unless it's someone's very angry and very upset and yelling, like, either in a group that I'm in or, like, someone that I'm with directly, which doesn't really happen. Honestly, just anger. Anger in general, regardless of if I'm in a public space or not. When someone around me is angry, even if it's not at me, my immediate response is I am not safe. I am in danger. This person is going to, hurt me. Like that's my brain's immediate response is like fight or flight. And I usually just sit there and stare, and just shut down. But yeah, on the inside, I'm like freaking the fuck out. But anger, even if it's not directed towards me, freaks me out. That's definitely my biggest trigger. But I don't really tend to be around angry people. And when there has been a few situations like that, I have had to voice like, hey, your anger is really affecting me in these ways. And, I understand it's not about me, but like, come on. Do you punish your daughters? Yes. I mean, I think you have to some extent. But I think most importantly, just explaining to them. I feel like I'll explain a lot to them before I actually, like, punish them. But if I feel like they understand and I have explained to them and they still go out of their way to, like, misbehave and not listen to me, then that's when, the punishment comes in. It's amazing to see the difference between the lifestyle you had and the one you have now. You've grown so much. Sometimes, like, honestly, last night I was just standing here, like, kind of dissociated, and, like, I feel like I'm just kind of used to my life now and just the way it runs and functions. And I was just standing there staring at my living room, and I just, like, stopped, and I was like, I used to live a completely different life. Like, life was so different. Like, it was, like, this used to not be my life, and now I'm here in this living room with this life, and, like, I'm doing this thing now, and it's just really weird. I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I felt like, how long have I been, It feels like yesterday I was just had a different lifestyle. I know you've said you use medical marijuana. Do you use a CBD vape? If so, do you like it? I don't, but I want to try it as well. Maybe I'll let you know. Is Little Miss Mary Jane legal in Florida? It is legal for medical patients, which I am one. Do Coco and Dee Dee fight a lot? Yes. They love each other and they're very sweet to each other, but they also fight a lot. I feel like Coco has kind of taught Dee Dee how to fight. And so now they just kind of feed off of each other. And yeah, it's rough out here. It's all love. And I make them like hug it out. But they definitely get angry with each other. Are you happier now than before? I don't know. Happiness is so... I'm more content now. Like, I'm happy with where I'm at. I'm happy with where I'm at in my progress, in my healing. I'm happy that I'm, kind of getting back into, like, really doing the work instead of kind of kidding myself that I'm, doing the work. And I'm happy about the realizations I'm coming to, and I'm happy with my progress, and I'm happy with my productivity and being able to maintain just a healthy lifestyle. I'm happy with where I'm at. But as far as overall happiness and joy and I've been happier. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's hard. This is a hard phase of my life, but I'm happy that I'm here, knowing that I will be way even happier than I ever thought I could be on the other side of this. After I deal with the things that I need to deal with right now, I know that when that day comes, I will be so happy and will be way happier than anything I've experienced yet in life. Being able to be past all this stuff that I'm working on. I know that that's coming, but like, even though it kind of stunted my growth to a certain extent, it didn't though. It didn't. I don't know. Being with Camryn, I was very, very, very happy. And whether that was healthy or not, to rely so much of my happiness on someone else, I was still really happy. Like, while it lasted and while I was in that, I was, he made me really, really happy, and I felt like I just had a lot more joy and a lot more, he made me laugh, and I was with my person, and I was really happy about that. I wasn't always happy, and there was a lot of struggles and a lot of relationship anxiety and just worrying about how long the happiness would last, and overthinking aspects of our relationship, and also just suppressing some of my other feelings, and like I said, kind of kidding myself that I was doing the work.